So I think one of the things that has become increasingly accepted here is that deindustrialization was a terrible mistake for America. Number one, it hurt us. It wiped out good-paying jobs that we relied on to build strong communities. And the other is it's left us vulnerable in our supply chains. And one of the things that's talked a lot about in terms of industries is these provisions called Buy America. We have laws that call Buy America, and I think it's especially important when we're spending taxpayer dollars on propping up an industry that it have strong provisions that do so. What's called the infrastructure bill has $5 billion of American taxpayer funds to build electric vehicle charging stations in the United States. And it has, in that bill, embedded very specific Buy American requirements, that those funds may be used only so that all the iron, the steel, the manufactured products, the construction materials that are used are produced in the United States. It's very simple. It's pretty straightforward. That's what the law reads, both a broader law that already exists and then the provisions of this bill. The Biden administration, after passing this, however, didn't just fail to implement this provision. They were almost a year late in even issuing any findings on it, but they've now come out with this waiver, a waiver of that Buy American requirement that allows foreign-made EV chargers, translation Chinese-made electric vehicle chargers, up until October of 2024. But there's more. They actually give the Federal Highway Administrator the ability to extend that deadline by 5 years. And so we are now facing, under this waiver they're requesting, the real prospect that significant portions of the $5 billion that are going to go to electric vehicle charging stations are going to be spent on Chinese companies. Taxpayer dollars. So we're either serious about restoring America's industrial capabilities or we're not. We should be especially serious about it when we're spending federal funds on it. Now, I've watched some of the debate, some of the things the administration's telling people, about how somehow this is going to be the opposite effect. There's this 1983 general regulation that they've written, waiver that they have in place. Everyone knows here that specific statutory language, such as that exists both in this bill and in other law, supersedes any of these. But the other is very simple. The administration, as they've done with a bunch of other regulations, can either amend it or get rid of this. But they're using that as a threat. What they're basically telling people is, if you vote for this, if this thing passes, we will interpret that 1983 general provision to just do anything we want with regards to this. So it's pretty straightforward. Get rid of it. Don't use it that way. Commit yourself to rebuilding American industry and American jobs. The bottom line is this. You can play all the jiu-jitsu games you want with regards to language. The bottom line is this. If we're going to spend $5 billion of taxpayer money to build electric vehicle charging stations in the United States, it should be made by Americans in America using American products. And if you agree with me, I'm going to give you a chance right now to vote for something that wipes out this waiver that the Biden administration wants to put in place that will guarantee that that may never happen and that most of this money, taxpayer money, will go into the hands of Chinese companies to build electric vehicle charging stations in the United States. We shouldn't allow that to happen. I urge everyone to vote for this. I yield the floor.
Madam President, I would ask unanimous consent for up to 1 minute.
Senator from Michigan, without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make it clear, as the person who authored the Make It in America Act in the infrastructure bill, which my colleague from Florida did not support, but we have a Made in America office now. And I am so appreciative of what the Biden administration is doing to make sure that we are not giving waivers unless absolutely necessary. We've had a general manufacturing waiver for years and years and years. What they've done is taken the EV chargers out of that and said, okay, we'll give you till July of next year. We'll phase out any kind of a waiver because we want these American-made. We want these American-made. And so the effect of voting for this resolution is to forever have EV chargers part of the waiver, where they never have to be American-made. They can always be Chinese-made. We want them American-made, and I urge a no vote